Hey everybody, Batman here. Welcome to another video. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tear apart my gun, redo it, and show you the Valken V12 fusion engine. Tools that I'm going to need today are, I got both of my sets of Allen wrenches. I've got my hook and pick set. I'm going to actually work on my hop-up unit today. The basic tool set that I said earlier in my video comes in handy. My long Phillips screwdriver that is to fit in the buffer tube. Flathead screwdriver for just in case I need anything else. I'm going to show you I have a mag weld grip on the front end. I have my piece underneath here. I'm going to show you how to completely take apart your gun, pull the V12 engine out, and actually put it into a different gun today. First thing that I like to start off with is I usually take a flathead screwdriver and I punch it down right here. This is going to be your front, your upper and lower receivers bolt. It keeps it in place, and usually this just comes right apart, just like that. So here's your upper receiver, guys. This is what this one actually is a G&G CM16 upper. As you can see, I've got my original iron sights on there, plus a reflex sight and a blast shield on that. Inside of here is my Pro-Win hop-up and a black version 2 Prometheus barrel from Mad Bull. I'm just going to go ahead and set this aside right here. I'm going to be done with that for a while. On the back end here is I actually have a 416C stock made by H&K. I got this off of Elite Force 416C. Honestly, guys, I love the stock. It's real curved on the back end and everything, so that's the reason I have that one. It actually contours to my shoulder a lot better. Now, for this point on, I'm dealing with just the lower receiver. As you can see, I'm going to go ahead and take my 878 sticker off that I had this weekend. We're going to place that right there. And this is the lower receiver. It's going to have your V12 engine in it, your mag release, your safety, buffer tube, 1-point sling, everything you need in there. Now, to be able to get your V12 engine out, first things first is this little blue thing. You're going to push it in from right here, just like that, and you should be able to pull it out. Now, mine's being a little difficult right now. I don't know why. Okay, sorry about that, guys. It's being a little difficult. And as you can see right there, it's going to have some teeth inside of it. You're going to place that aside. You're going to want to keep that within arm's reach for when you actually get the engine back put together. Now, inside the buffer tube here, you're not going to be able to see it. I don't have a flashlight to actually show, but inside there's a screw there. And what I'm going to do right now, I've been doing this for a while, is you're going to tighten this. So, it's going to come out just like that, guys. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. What I like to do is go ahead and keep all my pieces the best that I can together so that it doesn't make it makes it easier when I go to put my gun back together. I'm going to put that aside right over there. So now what I have here is just the pistol grip, the lower part, and the V12 engine. What I use is, I think it's the bottom right here. And I'm just going to take that right out. It's one bolt. Usually there's two, but I guess one of them must have fallen out. From that point on, what I like to do is I use the flathead screwdriver, just kind of reach up in there, kind of pull it out. And it's being a little difficult. I also use a pair of pliers sometimes to do that. I just didn't want to go and grab them. On the inside here, you're going to see you have two screws that's going to hold your pistol into place with your engine, and it also is going to hold it. If you have an AEG, it'll hold your pistol grip into your engine section, your actual gearbox, since there's a difference between engines and gearboxes. This actually, what I'm working on right now is a version 2 body. Originally was a TR4 CQB-R. I had modded out. When I got my Valken v12, I decided to switch over, but then decided I'm going to go back to the original body kit. The original body kit for the Valken v12 engine is actually a CM16 all polymer body. It's not bad. I wanted to stick with an all metal body, but then I had an offer come up that I couldn't refuse, so I'm going back to the polymer body. Right here, as you'll see, is the mag release system. I actually put a different one on there. I actually put the one from the CM16, which makes it a little bit easier. It's a screw, so that's going to drop right out. It's going to have your spring. And again, like I said, I keep all my parts together so that I can go back through and put them back together quickly. You can see there's that. I'm going to put that aside. Now it comes down to now all you've taken your buffer tube bolt out, you've taken your mag release bolts out. The only thing that's left is this little catch right here, and that's actually where I've got this little tool. It's a complete flathead, but it's a really small one, and all I'm going to do is pop that sucker right down. That's going to pop out just like that, and then from there you can pull your engine out. Now I'm going to set that aside. There's some work I still got to do with that. I'm going to take the front the magwell holster off of it. While I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and put my V12 battery on there. It's the one that came with the V12. It is a 7.4 LiPo. It's rechargeable. I'm just going to give the trigger a couple small squeezes. As you can see, it's on semi-auto. Not bad. It's still working. It's doing good. I'm just going to go ahead and pull that out. I'm going to check everything, make sure it looks decent. It's a little muddy on the nozzle there, so I would actually do later on. I'm going to do a video that talks about how to clean these things, how to change out your poppet, stuff like that. But this is the Valken V12 engine. It's pretty simple, pretty basic, self-explanatory. You can find videos from Valken Josh, who's also the most interesting man on Airsoft, on how to reassemble these, clean it too, or you can find my videos. Now I have what is the CM16 body on right here. It's a decent body. It's all polymer. They're real light. They're really nice. Personally, I'm not a big polymer fan, but for what I want it to do, it's going to work perfectly. What I'm going to do now is you're going to slide in where your battery housing goes. Slide in your tube for your HPA system at the bottom here. And then right underneath here, as you can see, you're going to see where your trigger goes. And you're just going to fit all of this nice stuff right inside there. It should go in pretty easily, pretty simple. It's done from there. I'm going to have to actually go find the other bolt if I can't take this one off. Yeah, I'm going to go find the other bolt. I've probably got it in another room. Sorry about that, guys. I should be more well prepared for this, but, you know, I'm not the greatest thing in all the world. This is actually an Euro grip that I got from a friend of mine. They're really nice. It gives it a pistol feel to it. It gives it a nice little contour. That's personally what I run. I mean, you can choose any grip you want to do personally. You can see I slid it on there, make sure it stays. I'm going to go ahead and pull it off, and then what I'm going to do, what I like to do is I like to take my screwdriver, put it on the inside of my screw like this, and slide it right on the inside here. You're going to be able to look down the inside and see that it sits. Once you have that one set, go ahead and turn it like this. Start getting all your stuff in there. And then you're going to screw it in just a little bit, just enough for it to catch. On that aspect, once it's caught, grab your other screw, put it in just like that. Like I said, this is a little harder to do while I'm doing a video because usually I have lighting, so I'm going to use the sun. I'm going to slide it right into the back end there, turn it upside down, wait for it to catch. I'm going to screw it in. Now, once you have the first one screwed in, it's set. Go ahead and screw this one in all the way. Now, you don't want to tighten it too tight. You don't want it too loose. So I do it to where you start feeling it get a little bit tough. So about right there. You see how I'm having a little trouble with it? That's perfect. Now I'm going to go back onto the other side. Do the same thing. The exact same thing once I find it. And I'm just going to screw this one in again just until it gives me a little bit of tension. Once I have it in there again, I'm going to go ahead and test the system. With it where it now, I should be able to pull the trigger, nothing happens, turn it to semi, turn it to that. Now, I have mine set for a 3-round burst right now. I'll do a video later on that'll explain how to actually change from single, 3-round, full auto, whole 9 yards. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this and sorry about that, guys. I've got music in the background here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that down a little bit more. You're going to slide, this is your mag release. You're going to slide that section in first, is what I do. Hold it with, I usually hold it with my middle finger or index finger. You're going to hold it with one or the other. Put your spring on there, and then once you have all of that, you can set it down on a towel like I have here, and line everything up. You're going to push down on it just a little bit, just enough to get the screw out, and then all you're going to do is just screw it right back in. Sometimes it can be a pain in the butt. It can be difficult to do, but once you've been working on guns for a while, it's something that comes pretty naturally. This one, like I said, is giving me a little trouble, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to do everything like this. I have it with my middle finger on the back end. I have my thumb right here holding it down, and I'm going to get that screw lined up, screw it in a little bit, and then once I have it in, I'm going to make sure that it fits properly. Everything is aligned right. And see, I'm actually, again, this is what's nice about some of these videos. A lot of these people, I'm not saying anything against them, they do videos of showing how to install things, but they only show you the easy parts. As you can see here, you do have some trouble. Every now and then you will run into some trouble with guns. Patience is a virtue with these things, guys. You don't want to get too crazy with it. You don't want to get too angry. I mean, if you got to walk away from a gun, walk away. I've been known to walk away from a few project guns that I've been working on personally before because they're just not wanting to sit well. You can see, like I said, I'm having a little trouble with this one. It's being a pain in the butt, but in the long run I'll end up getting it. Yep, there it is. So once on the back end of this thing, you'll actually see a it's a little bit of a groove on the back end of this mag release that will actually, this one is giving me so much trouble. Alright, there we go. It's a little stiff. I'll work on it here in a little bit. Yeah, it's just a little stiff. After you get that on there and after you get all your other pieces, what I can show you what this is right here. This is the motor housing plate, actually, is what it is. I use it for the bottom end of my gun. Again, I'm going to get my number 2 hex key for standard. I'm going to screw it in just like that. The nozzle. all you're going to do, guys, is just going to push it down, give it a little tug. You don't want to yank on it because you'll actually ruin the hose. You'll pull the hose out of the actual housing unit inside the V12 engine. Now, once you've done all that, you've got it all good, everything's secured away. Now, this is where the fun comes in, guys. 95% of the time that I'm taking a gun that I'm having a problem with, that I am getting flustered, is actually from the buffer tube. The buffer tube like this, you're going to slide in, make sure your cable here, your electric cable is in there, and then if you look inside there, you're going to see you got two holes. You're going to go with a bottom hole for the actual tube for your battery. Now, once you have all that in there, one of the things that I found that's quite easy to do, again, screwdriver, just like that, hold your housing unit and everything, hold it upside down, and it's honestly a patience test. You have to have lots of patience with a buffer tube. A lot of times I will find that people will lose screws down inside the buffer tube, and they'll get mad and they'll walk away. Again, if you've got to walk away, guys, walk away. You don't want to throw your gun or anything. So I'm looking for the hole. There's a little hole in the inside of your buffer tube. Some people do pull the buffer tube out a little bit. As you can see here, I did pull mine out a little bit. I got the screw set in there. I'm going to go ahead and reassemble the buffer tube, push the screw in, and I'm going to screw it in. With the buffer tube, just the same as your bottom pieces, you don't want it to be too tight, but you don't want it to be too loose. So as you can see here, there's my screw. I've got my screwdriver on it, and I am just going to town on it. You're just going to want to keep doing this until you feel it. You can actually pull up on your buffer tube a little bit. You'll feel it going down. That is a good sign. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And again, on this one, you want not to tighten it too much. See how I'm having to force it a little bit? You want to stop right there. Stop it. Don't want to do any more. You don't want to go any tighter, because if you go any tighter, it can damage your gun. It can damage the engine, stuff like that. Now, once you have your assembly like this, you have your pistol grip, your buffer tube, your lower housing. Here is your V12 engine. You can actually, most of these things slide right back on. You can see I had a problem here. They slide right back together. And you're just going to fit everything. You're going to align it all the way you need it to align. It'll align perfectly. That's the perfect alignment right there. You can see, just like that, it's lined now. I know I don't have the bolt right here for right now. I've got it in a box somewhere. I'm going to go find it. You usually do not want to try to put your gun together until you have that, but I know exactly where it is. I can go and pick it up and find it. Now, once you're done with everything, guys, you can put, I usually put all my tools back together each time I'm done with one so that I keep them square. And then on your buffer tubes, most buffer tubes are going to look like this. You're going to have a little piece right here. This is where you actually press down to get it to slide it in and out. Now, the buffer tube that I have is actually for the CM16. It does have a little complications with the the 416C's buffer, but it's fine. You're going to pull down until the point where you feel your buffer tube snap, pull it back, that snap, there you go. You can see charging handle, everything's going good, everything's looking nice. Now at this point, what you can do, again, take your back end off, push your buffer tube up, go ahead and put your battery in there. Don't leave your battery in the gun overnight. Do not do that. It is a LiPo. It can explode. I'm not saying it will, but it can. As you can see here, if you'll look right here, when I turn it over to semi, you're going to see the red dot. Pull the trigger, you'll hear it. Go over to full auto. That's just a test to make sure that everything on the inside of the gun is working. You're going to hear little what it sounds like is little pops, but it's nothing big. It's just making sure that the gun still works. Tube back together. Voila, guys. This is actually how to reassemble your V12 engine into another body. If any questions, comments, and concerns, post them down at the bottom. You can hit subscribe to my channel and be able to see other cool videos like this. Next one's coming up. We'll actually show you how to clean and work on your V12 engine. I'll actually show you how to take apart your hop-up, make sure everything's good, how to assemble it properly with a new nub, new bucking. I'm actually not going to use a new nub, but how to put bucking nubs and everything in there a lot easier. So again, hit subscribe at the bottom, subscribe to my page, check us out on Facebook. I'm with Viper Tactical out of Dallas and Viper Tactical Milsim. I'm Batman of Batman Airsoft, and y'all have a great day.